Hey, it's your boy Coach Lee in the house. Happy Friday to everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk with Friends. And as always, Fridays are the most exciting days for us. We got a special guest tonight. But before we roll over to that, we got a man with the plan, the one, the only, Uncle Leroy. What's happening, baby?
Wait, my camera's on? Hey, man, call me Mr. Sauce Walker. Hey, with the drip, Hey, what is to do, Uncle Leroy? Don't say the Leroy without the junior. Man, look, I'm psyched up, turned up to the max because we got a fire interview for the day. Not only the fire, he played for my favorite team, New Orleans Saints. So you already know I got that. You know what I'm saying? Wait, hey, Google. Hey, stop. You know what I'm saying? I got to put this in there. But yes, man, we got former running back Khiry Robinson, and man, I'm telling you, look, let's get this thing started. Let's get it started.
Truck him.
Man, hey, okay. Hold on, one more time.
Truck him. Yeah. Hit stick, baby.
Yeah, look. Like, let's go. But before what's up, man?
What's up, man? What's going on? What's up with you brothers?
What's happening, man?
We cooling,
man. Already. I appreciate y'all boys having me first and foremost. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the Who That Nation. Shout out to the fans. Shout out to everybody, man.
Yes, sir. Look, he come ready for this. He like, shout out to the Who That Nation. Shout out to the fans.
Got to.
You know what, man? You come like a natural on this thing, man. But
yes, sir, man.
Talking about a natural, you look like a natural running into the end zone. Like, man, like I'm gonna tell you, I was in a band. Shout out to everyone at Grambling State University. Before I go take the field, I listen to the Hot Boys. I've been in that thing.
Okay.
The block is hot. You know.
Okay.
What you listen to? You know what I'm saying? Like, especially being from getting down to the games and everything, going down, getting ready for these games. What's your playlist? What you listen to?
I'm pretty random, man, to be honest. It depends on what game it is. Every game is serious for me or whatnot, but it depends, how I'm feeling. But for sure, like you said, I gotta have the Hot Boys in there. I gotta have Weezy in there for sure. I got some hometimers in there, Zero, some throwbacks, Slim Thug.
Okay.
Like that.
Well, you got that Zero. Okay. Okay, there we go.
So, it's just random. Sometimes I'm on Pandora. And then, right before I go out, I try to be mellow and not listen to music. But I do. It's one song that I used to listen to before I go out. That Lil Jon Eastside Boys.
Okay.
That get your blood going there.
Yeah, they get your blood going. So I used to listen to that when I knew, okay, Khiry, you about to play. So, that was one of the good jams. But I'm pretty rare, man, so I switch it up. But that's pretty much some of the music I listen to.
Okay. All right. So, you had the opportunity to play in New Orleans, play for the Saints. And one thing that's big in New Orleans, of course, is food.
Yes, sir.
So what was your dish down there? What would you recommend, being from Texas? Like, you come from Texas to New Orleans. Like, you coming from the land of cattle to the land of crawfish and hoodas. You know what I'm saying? What's there?
Most definitely, man, growing up, my favorite meal was jambalaya. That's something that I don't know if I'm pronouncing right, but that's what I used to call it.
You get a pass.
My mama used to cook all the time, you know what I'm saying? So that was one of my favorite meals. So I immediately tried a place out there. I think some place called Mother's or something like that. I tried there, and there was a couple other places that I tried. I don't remember all the names, but I remember the streets, you know what I'm saying? But it was definitely gumbo. Tried gumbo without shrimp. I was kind of stuck out because I'm allergic to seafood or shellfish. What? So yeah, man. So I had to take an EpiPen everywhere. I took an EpiPen or I had Benadryl, but I didn't too much play with it. You know what I'm saying? So I just stuck to the fish and stuff like that. But I didn't really get the fully experience of food like I wanted to.
All right, but I did get a chance to see you was out there. You tried We That food.
Oh, most definitely. That's my
That's
boy.
my dude. Yeah.
That's all. That's twice a week. I forgot. I can't forget about my boy. And
Yeah.
that's even sometimes after the game on the weekends. I'm hitting the weed at truck for sure. Shout out to my dude for real.
Yes, sir. That's love right there. That's love. So, man, like you had the ultimate experience in New Orleans, man. Like this is kind of cool. So, before explain how you get there, because you come from you're born in Midland, Texas, and you come from there to New Orleans. It's a
Yes,
big
sir.
jump.
Yes, sir. Um, man, I got a story. I got a crazy story. Like, I don't want to say like everybody else, but that's why I grew up. I ended up moving with my family. My mom. We ended up just, I got four siblings, well, three siblings, four total. I got two sisters and a brother, and we just ended up moving from there to Central Texas, and it was just, just a spirit of the moment move from my mom. From what I was told when I got older. So we ended up settling there, and I went to high school at Belton, actually. I lived in Temple, but I went to high school in Belton, Texas. But I actually grew up in Temple. So after high school, I ended up going to college in Minnesota, which is a junior college. It's kind of high, excuse me. I ended up going to Minnesota, which was a junior college called Masabi Range. So after about a year there, I had pretty fun. I had a pretty good time up there. I wouldn't say it was the best time, but like it helped me get to where I'm at now. So
Okay.
after going through there, learning what I need to learn, about being humble and being at a smaller school, things of that nature. I ended up going to Blinn, which is in Brenham, Texas, and it's kind of the same. It wasn't the same, but it was a different culture thing because I went to a predominantly white school, but I grew up, in a black neighborhood. So I
Wow.
went I went from like a that's kind of how the college was when I went there. So I wouldn't say it was kind of racist, but they just weren't used to seeing us up there. So when I came
Wow.
to Blend, where I was used to around the people I was around, it was like it was more risk because it was easy for me to party and be off note and stuff like that. So I kind of respected when I was in Minnesota. Not that it got something to do with race, but I just how I grew up. It was just the nature I grew up around versus what I went to school with. You know what I mean? So I couldn't act like in my neighborhood like I did, like I could in school or something like that. You feel me?
Mhm.
So when I came to Blend, it was kind of like I almost failed out actually my first year. And that's
Oh,
when I
wow.
started. I started to take it serious. I came from Minnesota because I was dealing with a case or whatnot from high school, and I just wanted to be closer to home. And I, fell down on my grades and all that stuff. My GPA was so low. They sent me a letter saying that,
That was me too.
yeah, it was pretty bad, man. I got a wake up call like, damn, I'm about to end up back at home, which I appreciate that fact too because that time being there, it let me know like, nah, I don't want to be at home because I got the chance to be at college. And I was like, okay, it was cool. Came back home, but then I was like, nah, I don't want to be here for the rest of my life. So I had to write this letter to the dean and to the board about what happened. I explained to him what I was going through, how I grew up or whatnot, and I was going through this case, but I'm still trying to do right, go to school.
Right.
So the universe blessed me, man. I got that letter, got approved, and I said, you know what, I'm on the straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up going to Blinn or whatnot, and graduate from there with an associate's degree in science. And
Wow.
after Blinn, I ended up tearing my ACL at the same time. And I played with Cam Newton during that time. I don't know if anybody know. I played at the same time he played. But that same year, I tore my ACL. I shout out to the Who That Nation. I know everybody don't like the Panthers, but my boy ain't there no more. I still got to
Right.
represent him.
We got quiet on that job. We
Hey,
got quiet. We about to cut
it's
you off the
Buck
screen.
Nation. Hey, shout out to the Buck Nation too, and hey, shout out to Masabi Norseman too, man. I appreciate y'all. But I played with him there too, man, and I ended up tearing my ACL, which led me to going to West Texas A&M because
The
after
Bucks.
the West Texas A&M bus, I tore my ACL and I ended up having to change positions. So I went from running back to defense. And after they put
What?
me on, I went from running back to strong safety. No,
Oh.
from corner. They moved me to corner. And I was all right, but that's not me. I was just,
Right. Right. Right.
that's not where I need to be on the field. So they moved me back on offense to slot receiver. I did okay there, but shout out to the slot receiver. going across the middle, that's not for me either, you know. So I caught a few balls, but I was better, you know, in a different situation. So literally, this is how I went. I went from running back to that corner, back from corner to slot receiver, from slot receiver to outside receiver. So now they got me an outside receiver, and the reason being is when I went to Minnesota, they only took 5 transfers when you come back. Even though I was from Texas, they only took 5 transfers. And, you know, Blinn at the time was like the top 5 schools in the nation for JUCO. Yep. So you got to come with it. Like, we had over 20 transfers. I'm talking about from big D1s, Texas, Texas Tech, Kansas. Like, we had some dudes in there that can ball. So I had to be on my toes and you know, I had to do what I had to do. So, coach, you want to play? You better. All right, you know, say no more. I'm gonna learn quick. You know what I mean? So, going through all those positions, it taught me a lot. You know, because it was different adversity for me. You know what I'm saying? It was different bumps in the road. And now that I'm older, you know, got a child and, you know, living a life now, not living their life, but like, you know, living my life, but like, it's understandable why I went through those things. You know what I'm saying? So after going through all that, man, I ended up on defense, playing strong safety. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ended up back from wide receiver going to strong safety. So I ended up playing that season, you know, and we ended up going to a bowl game or whatnot. We had a pretty good season, and what's crazy is the scout that was there, I tore my ACL 2 days before the spring game. We had a makeup scrimmage, you know, and our coach, he was real rough. He and Kurt, that rain come, we're going to practice on Sunday. It don't matter.
Nice.
We're going to go to church, and then we're going to practice. So, Coach Fran. So, anyway, we had a makeup scrimmage, and I tore my ACL that same day, and it was like 15 scouts there that day. And I was supposed to start. It was going to be me and Cam Newton, you know. But it was another good running back too, Mike Hayes. That's my boy too, or whatever. It was another, you know, a few good guys there. But anyway, I tore my ACL, and the scout was there, Coach Carter. And I came back the next year, and he offered me. He was like, "Man, I was here on the sideline when you tore your ACL," and I didn't know that at the time. So I was coming out of Blinn, and I'm like, "Dang." I had offers, but they were small offers. You know what I'm saying? And one of them was a walk-on to Oklahoma because, you know, they was going through trouble at the time. So pretty much it was just like, hey, we need anybody. So I got that opportunity, you know, with West Texas A&M. So I took it because, you know, they offered me to play both sides, and I really wanted to play running back. But I got turned down by a few schools, you know, after talking to them. I'm like, you know, I can play running back. I'm telling them, like, I can play running back.
You're like, put me in, coach.
Yeah.
Put me in.
Like, I can play running back. Like, I'm telling them, and they like, nah, we like you in safety because I led the team in tackles, and I was second string on the team. So, yeah, I had a pretty good season. I was just used to tackling, playing, you know, pick up football, just playing with my instincts, but apparently it was pretty good. But I just kept getting denied, and they like, nah, man, I don't see your speed and running back, man. I see you at safety coming down here, though. I can turn you to the NFL running back. I'm like, man.
Wow.
I took that as a, you know, kind of, you know, you telling me I can't do something now.
Right.
So when he came, he was like, hey, man, we'll offer you both. You can play both sides. You know how I go. They trick you into it. I get there. And he like, no, you playing running back. I'm like, well, you didn't trick me because that's what I want to play anyway. So, you know, and I think I posted it not too long ago, like my story, because somebody posted a picture, and it was me stiff arming, and it was my friend.
We shared it.
Okay, yeah, it was my friend Tyrell Higgins. He played for UT. He was a transfer, and it just brought back memories. You know what I'm saying? What I went through, basically going there, meeting those guys during the visit, and you know, basically, you know, when you go to a university, it's different. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like high school. That new kid on the block, you just not welcome just yet. So most of us came on full ride, and a lot of those guys, you know, they didn't like that because they've been there for so long and they don't have a scholarship, but they didn't know I was on $500 scholarship. You know what I mean? I'm hustling like you.
What you sound like you in the band? That's my scholarship.
500, man.
That's that D2 for you, man.
Shout out to you, Harrison and Coach Hill for hanging out. We got the Who That's in the building, man. You know, I'm trying to hold the hold the comments, but you know they starting to come in. What's that? But yeah, so $500. That's crazy.
Scholarship, man. I took it. I had to. It was nothing else on the table except for Lamar University, and they were just building. So I knew, like, ain't no NFL scouts coming there. You know, the Buffaloes, they had won the conference like 4 or 5 years in a row. So I was like, hey, I got a better chance going there. They had a couple guys go out to the league. So, you know, I got a chance. So I took that, you know. Went there. It was kind of rough when I got there. You know, middle of West Texas. Wasn't nothing out there for sure.
That's for sure.
I was broke. I didn't have no money. I spent all my money because I was on probation at the time, and I got some bad news on the last day. I was graduating from Blinn actually, and
What?
I'm hyped up. Got my people ready to come, for graduate. It's the same week. Matter of fact, it was like a Thursday. No, it was a Wednesday because I graduated that Saturday, and I got a call in class from my probation, my PO officer, and they was like, hey, congratulations, like you got everything paid off, everything good. The years is up. I had like 5 years or whatever. And she's like, oh, but you just got one thing left. I'm like, okay, cool. What's that? She like, you got 375 hours of community service.
I knew that was coming, Doc. I knew that was coming.
I'm like, whoa. And I'm mind you, I'm in class. My teacher already like, what you doing on the phone? I'm like, hold on. He's like, I'm like, I'm gonna step outside. So I'm like, what you mean? I'm like, okay, so what I gotta do to handle that? She's like, well, if you can get 375 hours in the next 24 hours, she was like, we'll sign the papers or not, we're gonna revoke you, and then you gonna have to do your time. I'm like, whoa, back up. Back up. I'm like, I'm in college, like I graduate Saturday. She's like, I understand, right. But they weren't trying to hear that. So long story short, all the money I saved to go get a car, and I had to spend it.
Pay it off.
I paid it off by to a nonprofit. I went and bought a bunch of groceries and clothes, and I bought a bunch of people, groceries in the store, and I just had to bring them receipts for, I think it was like $3,700 worth of groceries. So I had to spend all that. So I just said, forget it. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was with my cousin. I ran home. I got my car because my college was like 2 hours away from home. So I'm like, damn, what should I do? I panicked. I'm like, man, I'm just going to run. No lie. I'm sorry, people on the lie. I was like, look, I'm going to just graduate.
I'm telling you.
No lie. Hey, my cousin, D-Lo, he'll tell you, man. Like, I'm like, man, I graduate Saturday. I said, I graduate. I'm just going to West Texas. They just got to find me. I'm like, wait, just think. I said, it's just bread. I said, man. My cousin like, no, man, he's like, it's just money. You'll get it back, bro. You go to the league. Right. I'm like, all right. So I thought about it. My bad. I get a little emotional when I talk about it.
Talk about it, man. Hey, shout out to Coach Hill. He and the Waco Terror. He said, respect for keep pushing, fam, and never give up. Overcome adversity. Who that nation? Harrison. He's saying real, like for real. That's why we rock with you. And who that, man? We got an idea of the story.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, we ended up I ended up paying it off, bro. And everything was cool. They wrote it off. I went to West Texas.
Man, you fucking praise God, man. That's man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's a seed you sowed, man.
That's what you earned, man. And you for real.
Man, nobody take that from you.
That's for real. And it's funny when I was teaching, I used to tell my students, like, you don't gotta get something behind your name because they can't take it. It was funny. It was before Katrina. I was like, and because I told them, I was like, whatever happens here, I could go somewhere else and be successful. So, not many athletes have that, brother. That's double salute to you on that.
Yeah, and I appreciate it, bro. It ain't even about the paper. It's just
the story behind it.
That's what makes the paper. It's the story.
Yeah, you feel me? So it's a lot. It's a lot behind that, and I appreciate it.
Right, man. Yeah. I would tell you, same thing. I failed out of Grambling 3 times. I had to write a letter to Dr. Ruby Higgins to let me back in. So I'm with it.
But yeah, after all that happened, man. Excuse me, y'all. So I ain't never talked about the whole situation, but.
He said from Bell, we got Brian hanging out. He said from Bell Oaks to the legendary, my boy, keep a football in his hands. All right, shout out to you, Brian.
Shout out to them boys, man. So, getting to West Texas, man, I skipped a lot through that because, it's a lot more behind it, but I don't want to get too much because I know we on time. But my first year, I had a pretty good season, man. Good enough to start, The next year, I ended up starting in the bowl game, and I went for like 200 yards, and I broke a record. So after that next year, I got to start my senior year. But it was still kind of rocky because I failed the drug test. So I got suspended like the first 3 games. So I was I was out again. So I was out
The
again.
struggle real, bro.
Still being hard-headed, man. Still being hard-headed. So after that, I understood my purpose, what I need to do. I cleaned myself in my mind. I said, after this, I'm going to get straight. I ain't going to do, anything that don't got nothing to do with football. And after that, man, I ended up breaking the record at West Texas for Mercury Morris, the rushing record. You feel me? And after that, man, I didn't get called at the draft. And I know why, because of the stuff, that happened to me,
Off the
which
field.
I'll take full accountability of that. You know what I'm saying? As a man now, so when I didn't,
Respect.
I knew somebody was gonna call. You feel me? So
Right.
the boys called me the next day. I laugh now, bro, because it's funny. Hey, they called me the next day, and they like, I think it was Mike. His name Mike. I'm like, what's up, man? Hello? It's 504 number. He like, this Khiry? I'm like, yeah. He like, man, I want you to be a Saint. Off the
What?
rip. I'm like, what? I'm thinking somebody playing on the phone. So he like, yeah, man, I want you to be a Saint. We got this guy, from West Virginia, that we drafted, but I think you way better than him. So I'm like, okay, boom. He gave it a confidence. Then he hit me off the note. He said, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think you're even better than the guy we got right now that's starting on the team.
Agreed.
So I'm like, man, okay. He say, anybody else call you? I'm like, yeah. I said, no. I said, my agent just hit me while you talk to me, and I think he texted me saying Green Bay. He was like, well, you want to be a Saint? I said, hell yeah. He said, all right, well, I'm gonna email you the paper. I get there, man, and pretty much, man, I get my shot, and I ain't gonna lie, when I got there, I thought I had it made. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like that. The playbook was this big, you know what I mean? And I was still at I. And long story short, we went through the practices for that 3-day tryout, man, and something just was on my heart. So I come to Coach Rochard. I'm like, hey, Coach, can I talk to you? I'm like, how I'm doing? Because I see the oohs and eyes when I'm running, but then
Right.
again, I see the
Politics.
yeah, I see the pen being written down. So I'm like, how I'm doing, Coach? He like, you really want to know? He shut the door. I said, yeah, tell me. And this right before we leaving for the camp. And I feel like to this day, it helped me make it because it showed I was concerned about what I was putting out there. So he shut the door. He like, terrible. I'm like, what? He like, man, I don't know if you're gonna make it. I'm like, damn. It kind of shut me down. I'm like, okay. I said, let me know what I'm doing wrong. What's up? He like, man, you don't know which way to go. I'm like, shit. I said, Coach, to be honest, I said, man, I'm still trying to get used to being here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He like, man, you gotta wake up. He was like, in the morning, you rough. You know what I mean? He said, but in the afternoon, he's like, you 100 miles per hour. You know where to go. He said, I know you know what you're doing, but it's like you gotta know the plays now. So when he told me that, I said, man, if I come back, I said, when I come back, I'm gonna know every play. And he was like, all right, I'm just telling you that. So when I left, I walked back to the locker room and I seen Buddy going up the stairs. And I'm like, damn, I just got my stuff. And he come back down. He like, they want you upstairs with an attitude. I'm like, ooh.
Damn.
He like, Coach. So I went up there and Coach was like, man, you better come back and know those plays and eat such and such. I'm like, all right, say no more. I went back down. Buddy was packing. I was still in the locker room. So after that, I went home, man, took that playbook, and every day, man, every day I was on the field, on the track. I hit my boy that I knew, Chris Aguiano. He'll help me out there. I had a few partners, I had my old lady. She used to help me out there, throwing tennis balls to me, stuff like that. And I just went back to the basics, bro, and learned the playbook. And then when I came back from there, man, I just try to, in training camp, I just try to be straight focused, man, and did my best.
Wow.
From there, it just went up. As far as being hurt, at first I was tripping, but I'm not tripping because I feel like I went through that whole journey for a reason.
It's always
with my mom and her situation. My mom, she ended up like getting stabbed like when I was younger, and actually the dude that did it, he was from New Orleans. And I feel like this whole situation of me making and doing stuff like that, my mom could have lost her life during that time. And
Wow.
her being strong and seeing her go through all that stuff, it helped me be who I am today. So I feel like all this happened for a reason. So even the injury, like everything happened. Me being in the city, like and me going to the Jets, even because my uncle named Daryl Davis, and he was a defensive end for the New York Jets too. And I always had a vision like, dang, what if I end up with the Jets? And I did. You know, even though I played a few games and it wasn't a long career, hey man, my goal was to be to lead 10 years, 20 years. My goal was
Wow.
to be in the lead and say, you know what I'm saying? That's what I did. You know what I mean?
Right.
So overall, you know, I'm proud of myself, you know what I'm
You
saying?
should be.
And
And the
that's something that,
confidence.
you know, I could, you know, show my family and show my daughter, you know. And even now my daughter, she knows. She'll see 29 and she swear that's me. She don't care where we at. Dad, look at your number.
Right.
she been like that since 2. When she see the same, she swear that's me. Dad, there go Dad at football. She
Yeah.
5 now, and she still
Right.
said, she'll surprise me. Like I posted the other day, I come in the house and I went to take the trash out. I closed the curtains for her when she do her work. I said, okay, I'm gonna leave you alone, let you do your work. I come back in the house from the trash, went in the garage. She say, Dad, come here. I'm thinking she's showing me work. This girl in full jersey, got the Saints hat on, got the Saints chain, talking about, look. She said, I look like you, huh?
That's what's up.
I said, girl, you supposed to be working, but you know, it's moments like that I appreciate, man, because without this, like I told my boy, like without the injury and certain stuff, bro, I didn't get to spend certain time with the family and with my daughter that I get to spend now. So,
Right.
and even now, interview now, bro, we probably wouldn't even have time to, you know, to share my time with fans or whoever watching it with y'all, bro, because I'll be so busy, you know, doing something else. You know what I mean?
Right.
But so I appreciate everything that I went through, and I appreciate the whole situation. So,
And that's what makes you, that's what makes you well rounded. And that's like one of that I seen you say, you're a Hall of Fame running back, for everywhere you went, because you got that mentality.
yes,
But,
sir.
When you first, first thing when you went down to New Orleans, of course, there's people that want to meet you, especially if you come for the Saints, like my dude Spitter, shout out to Spitter, shout out to the Hot Boys. You come to the city, there's people that want to meet you. So,
Yes, sir.
what rap artist, homegrown rap artist, a local star you wanted to meet?
You already know them Hot Boys, Lil Wayne, Turk, BG. I love Spitter. When I meditate, I love that boy. He one of them underground people that I feel like he worldwide, but
Right.
he low key. But if you ask somebody, what's McCall? Oh, that's Wiz Khalifa. Yep,
Yeah,
that's
he
your
made
boy.
it. Right. He
That's
low
your
key
boy.
made it. Right.
So that's for sure people that I want to at least meet. I met Drew. Actually, I met all of them. I was with Rich Gang. I met all of them actually, except for Spitter. I think I've been around him, but I didn't get to shake his hand.
Right.
I went to like his spot before, but we never actually got to shake hands and all that.
All right. So, but I mean, so during that time you was with the Saints, did y'all have like a Hot Boys or something like, what y'all used to call yourself?
What did we call ourselves? Savages. That's what it was. Everybody was calling. Everybody was a savage at that time. I think Junior, Cam, all them boys, Mark, them boys came up with that. I was just, they used to K-Rod. K-Rod. They know he is K-Rod, bro. Me being K-Rod. But yeah.
Nice. So, all right. So the first game, coming in, you got the first game, you got the word, okay, boom, it's game time. They call your number, you get in the game. How did it feel playing in the first, playing the Superdome?
Ooh, I ain't gonna lie. I was nervous, but my mama was there, so I
It
ain't
was
play
good.
till. Yeah, I was good. I was just when I got in with her. I mean, I was just waiting till I got in. I knew I was gonna get into the fourth quarter because it was preseason, but I was like, man, when I get in, at least she can see me running. You know what I'm saying? Run this thing. You feel me? So I felt nervous, but after I got my first carry, it was like, man, it's football. And I kind of knew when I was practicing against them because I broke a few times at practice, but like I didn't get to show them what I needed to show them. You know what I mean? So during that time, I still felt like, man, I didn't really get to show them like what I can do. You know what I'm saying? But I showed them enough for them to keep me. You know what I mean? So during that time, bro, I had anxiety at that time. I threw up. They most people don't know I used to throw up before every game. I used to throw up on the field. Lord. I remember in Miami, I threw up 3 times. The ref was like, "Oh no, that's it." He threw me to the side. I'm like, "Coach." He like, "What's wrong?" I said, "He's like, man, you got to get the bubble gum." I said, "Coach, I'm nervous." I'm nervous, Coach. He's like, "Man, you running hard." But I used to throw up, but I used to be out there bubble guts. I run about 15, 20 yards and throw up. Oh Lord. They're like, "Can't I get it on? Don't tell him, bro. Don't tell him. I gotta get in."
Like it didn't happen again.
And if you go, matter of fact, I think you posted one of them highlights. If you go back to look at them film, bro, they'll see it. Khiry Robinson throwing up. I didn't threw up so many times, bro. Like, bro, I'll be nervous out there. But after I get it out, it's like, okay, I'm good. Give me some Skittles, give me a Red Bull, and I'm straight. After that, I'll be good.
Nice. So we got Rio CBD. He laughing. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for hanging out. So, I mean, you got all this game, and you had a game where you had 23 receptions. That is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is just crazy. And I've always been impressed with the way you can catch the ball and run and out the backfield. So, you get in the game. You get the ball. What is on your mind? Like the first time you get in the game, first time you talk to Drew Brees, you get the ball. What is it? What are you thinking?
First, what did he say? Off rip, because the play is so long. And I pray. First of all, I pray before every play. Like wow. I say a little prayer before every play. Because my head is always down. So I don't like to see the opponent like looking at me. So because I got a habit of like sometimes I try to look that way to look them all, but they already know I'm going to the right. So I try to keep my head down and stay focused. I say a prayer, hear the play, and I'm just thinking like, don't think. Just, I know the play. Let's go. Check my reads. My read not there. Turn around, catch the ball. Let's go. You know what I mean? Sometimes I might do too much. I get a little nervous, but like, after I get the first hit, it's like, let's go. You know what I mean? But it's with me, I'm not thinking because we taught to go to the next play. You know what I mean? It's the next play. It's the next play. Go to the next play. So I don't know, man. I'm just thinking, to be honest, go.
Yeah,
I think that's
like that.
Sometimes my problem. I'm trying to score every play. I don't care how many times I play. I'm trying to score.
Fantasy football lives matter. That's why I can't on my team, man. You won't score.
I'm trying to score, man.
I don't want no yard. This ain't no PPR. Get to the end zone.
Yeah, I'm just trying to score.
So I mean, we got the you got the actual ball right there. You got the game ball. I think that was for what, the Tampa Bay game?
Yeah, man. Actually, that was for overall. I got a Tampa Bay ball. Well, actually, for that game, I didn't get the game ball, to be honest. But they came and told me, I got player of the game. But which I wasn't tripping. I know, what's up. And I know who got a big block for me. So I wasn't tripping about the ball. Everybody in the locker room knew what's up. But that ball right there came because Drew made history. And shout out to Drew because they basically gave a ball to everybody he had a reception with. So he paid dues and paid respect to the people that helped him get that record. So that's how I got that ball.
Wow. So what was your first conversation with Drew Brees?
Where I was from.
He's from Texas. So he's from Texas.
I think he's from Austin, Texas, or something like that. And I grew up in Temple, but I went to Belton. So I would always walk in. He would say what's up to me, but he'd be like, "Hey, K-Ron, where you from again?" I'd be like, "Bro, I went to Belton, bro, 254, right up the street. I saw some Temple." He like, "Yeah." He used to say Central Texas boys. He used to call, "Yeah, we Central Texas boys. We be balling." That's what he used to be saying. Hey, he really funny though. What people don't know, he got, how people be, they try to have a little swag to him and stuff. So
right.
I say something to him, like he'll be in the locker room by himself, and I'll walk by, I'll be like, "What's up, Drew?" I'll be like, "Drew, it ain't easy being breezy." And he'll just bust out laughing. That boy just bust out laughing. He had a routine where he used to just hop in the cold tub like full body. And I saw him doing it one time. I'm like, man, yeah, bro. Because when I first got there, I used to sit out in a facility, and he'll be there like everybody gone. And I used to be in the locker room just chilling, still mesmerized, and I see him out there going through stuff. And so one day I'm just like, matter of fact, I go back. This is the first time I talked to him. Now that I think about it, I was out there just watching him because I was like, damn, I don't want to just say the wrong shit to him. They for around to cut me. Right. I'm like, man, it's real talk. I'm walking by his locker and everything. I want to ask, the first question I wanted to ask was, man, let me see one of your paychecks because I ain't believe it. But I'm like, I'm like, bro, I'm on some ghetto shit right now. I'm like, hold on, bro, you tripping right now. Like, so I'm like, I go to one of the other, I'm like, bro, how much you think you make, bro? He like, bro, we all make money here, you tripping. He like, they gonna fuck around and cut you thinking that. I'm like, all right. I said, forget it. So I'm like, man, I said, I'm just trying to figure out how to talk to him, bro, so I can get next to him because I'm trying to be starting, bro. So he like, man, just catch him when he eat by himself. So I'm like, all right, bet. I start hitting the gym like I used to do. He always out there. I sit down. I'm like, I'm about to watch him. I'm like, why he always here till 8 o'clock at night? So I catch him coming to film one time. I'm like, hey, bro. I'm like, what it take to be great? No, I said, what does it really take? That's what I said to him. He looked at me. He like, what you mean? I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me. He was like, you really want to know? And then he's like, come here. And we went to the locker room, went on the side. He was like, man, it take consistency like that. He was telling me what he was doing. And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
Wow.
And then he it wasn't no secret. It wasn't like do this, do that. It was just being consistent in what you do every day, building your craft. And I was like, damn. And I thought about it like, yeah, consistency can be me doing it every day, but how long am I doing it every day? You know what I'm saying? Am I doing it for 20 minutes a day? Am I doing it for 5 or am I doing it for 12 hours a day building this craft? So I respect his grind because I see it. Like, certain stuff I ain't gonna, I saw that I can't tell, but like it was stuff that I understood, like why he moved the way he moved and certain people, and just not him, people of success. Like this is for anything to be successful, you gotta be consistent. And I started to notice that. And once you find one thing, you find a goal in one thing, you just be consistent in the next thing. You want to build your legs, next build your top. You know what I mean? You want to build this business, you build this next business. It's the same thing. It goes around the same way. So when I heard that, it kind of like resonated with me. I'm like, okay, that makes sense then. And then, I think ever since that day, that's when we became like making jokes like that. That's when it got cool. Now that I remember, because after I said that, he started to take me serious. You know what I'm saying? Then I started to get the K-Rob, get in. K-Rob here, run this route.
Yeah.
Okay. As a matter of fact, I started to get the K-Rob. What you doing this summer? Or what you doing during the break?
Workouts.
Nothing. Well, meet me in San Diego. What? Me? Oh, all right. Say no.
Bad block.
I ain't never been to San Diego, but I'm there. Let's go.
Right.
So that's how I ran into him. Now that I think about it more and more because I was sitting out there scoping for a while because I was like, who can I look at? Because Coach Roshar, he was always on me about my appearance and about like somebody like to watch. Because I'm sure they knew about my story, but like they never really said nothing, So he was always telling me like, man, find a guy like this. Look at Drew. Look at Colston. Look at Ben Watson, people like that. Look at Jari Evans, and I'm like, okay. Look at Streep. Save your money like Streep. I'm like, okay, boom. At first, I was hard-headed. I'm like, man, this man on me. Like, he's like the old coaches always telling me take my goal, but then my OG, he used to call me, and tell me like, bro, you better listen. And I'm like, damn, he right. I used to ride. It was crazy because God would put me in position like I would need a ride, and I walk out from the hotel because I didn't have a house yet. And here come Coasting, the same person Coach told me to holler at.
Nice.
He like, you need a ride, huh? I'm like, yeah, man, come on.
You can tell he been in there. No, like you need a ride, huh? You full of that diesel, huh? You ducking them people, huh? That groovy, huh?
That boy said, you need a ride, huh? I said, yeah. He said, come on. I got in the car with him. He kicking knowledge. First, it was quiet. I think it was a test. Like, I ain't gonna say nothing to you unless you say something.
Right.
So I was like, hey, bro, what you think I need to do to make the team, bro? I was like, what can I do? He like, man, learn that playbook. He was like, I ain't gonna lie, I seen you run. Wow. He was like, learn that playbook. I was like, all right. I said, so when I get paid, what should I do with my check? He was like, save your bread. He was like, just save your money, get you a 401k. Like, I remember certain stuff that we talked about, bro. And I'm like, okay, they may not have thought I listened. And I listened to it. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, boom. Street then pulled me to the side. Let me see your bank account. How much money you got left?
Wow.
Let me see what you spending on, stuff like that. But at first, like, bro, what you doing, bro? Like, but then I'm like, okay, they trying to see, okay, all right. Got you.
Right,
so,
you seen the play, you peeped.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I peep stuff. Eric Lord, I appreciate him. I used to come in like I told my friend earlier, my barber. He was like, man, I don't be seeing you like, I got design and stuff, but like I don't. like I understand. And Eric used to make fun of me all the time. He like, bro, why you got on fake slippers again? You got on fake Gucci belt again. And I used to get mad. I'm like, bro, what you talking about? I paid $300-$400 for this. It's not fake. What you talking about? He's like, bro, yes, it is. I'm telling you. And he finally set me down on that. He's like, bro, in China, they make that for like $6. And you buy it for $300.
Right.
I'm like, damn. I'm like, for real? Like, you know, I'm
right.
not really. We talk
because you know numbers. You know numbers.
Yeah, exactly. So
So
I'm
the
still
numbers
cheap.
covered.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm still cheap. Don't get it wrong. You know, I'll buy it. They don't sell. They 89. Okay, I got you. But it was just the fact that it was just you know, I was just getting sent signals, and I'm thankful for all that, man, because now all that, if I didn't get all that, I'd be one of those guys that's 3 years out the lead and, you know, doing something else. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful to be able to be here with my daughter, homeschool my daughter, and take care of myself. You know, I got other situations like, you know, with my legs and my injury, but I'm thankful to be able to still. I got a cane, but I'm good. You know what I mean? But other than that, like, I appreciate those moments in the lead. Like, a lot of people get out the lead and just be like, you know, it was this and that. But, like, I find a lot of reasons why I appreciate it, man, because without that, my daughter wouldn't be taken care of. I wouldn't be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Her education. And, you know, I know a lot of people was proud and happy to see that. And I know a lot of people that know my story, they'll see and be like, you know, I can do that too. Especially if that boy did it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, even though it ain't even no insult to me because I understand. I probably was that kid that like, God damn, boy, sit down somewhere. Like, but I understand now, like having a daughter and having a child, you know what I'm saying? But like all those moments, man, like even now, like I appreciate it, like big time. So shout out to them.
Wow. Already. All right, my turn.
Yeah, we get ready.
Oh, we got a couple. Yeah.
Good.
So I got a couple of questions for you. So
yes, sir.
It's what I call overtime with Khiry Robinson, man. So the first one is, what's the one thing that you do after having a good performance?
Man, I call my mama.
You gotta call T-Lady.
I used to call my T-Lady. I called my mama, you know. They'll tell me, you know, they saw it on TV or they didn't get to watch it because, you know, they're going to show the Cowboys out there. But
yeah, say that again. He's a Cowboys fan.
They're going to show the Cowboys in Texas, man. I call them, you feel me? And after that, it's with the teammate. We'll probably hit Root Chris, you know, a select few, and then we'll probably hit the casino. Or sometime, bro, I'll go straight home. I'll go straight home and I'll just kick it and get on that mat or something. Barbecue. Like, depending on if I got guests or something. You know, if I got guests, I'll take them out, show them the city. But, like, I don't stay out like, excuse me, because we got to get up the next day. So, me, like, growing up, I went out and all that stuff. So, it never excited me to go do that. But, like, I go to the casino every now and then. But, like, after the game, I'm going to go chill and get up for the next morning because I knew. After I figured the first 2 times, like, oh, we got to be there at 9 in the morning, 8?
Right.
Hold on, the game ended at 1. Yeah. We got off the plane at 2. Oh man, I'll see y'all later. I'll see y'all in the morning, bro. I'll do that on off day. So after that, you know, I just found my way. And then I kind of got a hobby of cooking and stuff like that. So I come to the crib and chill and stuff. So
we're gonna have to have another show cooking with Khiry, huh? Hey, I can throw down too now. You know?
I do it all, man.
All right. Do it all. So what would be your ultimate achievement in this year?
My ultimate achievement in this year, I think being more connected with my family and like probably spending more time with my daughter, like having a, you know what I'm saying? These past 2 or 3 years, really, ever since I've been out, but like even when I was out, I had workouts here. I had to leave here. I had to go to this state. But like now it's been like she wake up daddy in her face. You know what I'm saying? We brushing teeth together. We going over work. You know what I'm saying? We go on Wednesdays, we go do brunch together. You know what I'm saying? We all that. Just yesterday, like I told you, like she got all 8. That's another proud moment, man. I be on her. And so now I feel like I can relax. Not relax, but I'm gonna get off for a little bit because she made all A's on her first report card, and that really made me proud. So that really was a moment for me. So other than that, man, that's just what I've been focused on with her. Because I know I was a knucklehead.
Hey, we gotta say that for the show now.
Hey, man, I was a knucklehead. You feel me? At 11 years old, so I try to, you know, I try to be in her life as much as I can.
Real certainly. Man. What are your strengths as both an athlete and a person?
My strengths as an athlete and a person. My strength as a person. I think my strength as a person is I'm a giving person. Like, and that's with anything, information. You know what I mean? Shit, physically, mentally, all that. Like, I'm willing to listen to people. You know what I'm saying? And give my input on things. You know, most people ain't willing to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And not to compare, but like I feel like that's an asset when you got somebody that'll listen and guide you in the right. Like my intentions are good when it comes to people. Like
Man,
some people intentions ain't always good. You understand?
Right.
So
facts.
I feel like shit as a person, like my demeanor may come out wrong, but like my
Same
intentions
here.
is always well because of what I went through. Because I see the
Right.
better,
Same here.
I see
Talk
the
that.
better in people. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, and that's why I post what I post. Without a filter sometimes because I feel like people need to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it need to be said in that way because a lot of us we don't hold accountability too well. But like
Talk that.
I think if a lot of us see somebody else holding accountability, they'll follow in that trend. So I feel like that's one of my strengths as a person. But
Hey, hold on.
as
So
a
we got Chris hanging out with a shout out. He's a Cowboy fan. So he's down there in Corpus Christi. He say, I usually don't say this, but shout out to the Saints and Robinson. Respect.
I appreciate that, Diaz. Appreciate that.
But
As an athlete, man, I say as an athlete, my strength is my work ethic. My work ethic. I'm relentless in situations. I tore my ACL. I broke my leg 4 times. I broke my wrist.
damn.
I had broken not broke my ankle, but I had a bone spur.
Ouch.
So I actually tore my ACL, MCL, and PCL. So I
Mm.
feel like that came from seeing my mama not giving up. You know what I'm saying? And just being a strong-winded, strong-minded person. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like as an athlete, I ignored a lot of the naysayers and the roles and the people that said you couldn't make it or you was too
Let's
slow.
go.
So I feel like, man, no matter what, I wasn't the fastest. Like I grew up with dudes 4.2, 4.3, 10.5, 10.3s, 10.2s in 10th grade,
Dang.
Shout out to Lake Cecil. I grew up with a lot of people that was athletes, bro, that was better than me. But I just Nipsey Hustle, you feel me? I was on a marathon. I
Let's
wasn't I
go.
wasn't on a race with nobody at all. Except for I knew what I wanted though. You know what I mean? And so I stayed with it. I shout out to, my pops. He always said, always stay, keep your wind up, keep your wind up.
Shout out
Stay,
to the fan.
keep your wind up. I met my pops later on in life, and my pops did a long time in the pen and I built a relationship with him. But like and I think that came from him, to be honest. Like, cause every time I talk to him, even though we ain't know, he gonna talk to me like we know each other. You feel me? He gonna give me
Right.
some positive stuff. So I respect that and I see that in myself. So at the same time, I feel like that helped me. I stayed on the marathon. I stayed strong. Like I didn't get drafted. I wasn't tripping. I went to sleep. I went to the mall.
Nice.
I went to the mall. No, matter of fact, I went to sleep. When I didn't get drafted, I went in my room and I can hear my roommate. I know he mad. I ain't tripping, bro.
Right.
Somebody gonna call me tomorrow. I
You
know
good,
it.
right? That's what they don't know. You know what I'm
I
saying?
woke. I had that phone next to my ear, boy. I had pillow. That phone. I woke up quick when I seen 504. Oh yeah, yes sir. Let's go. So
Let's go. Hey,
yeah.
shout out to Rosa. She's down there hanging out with us in Lafayette. Who that nation rep,
What's
checking
up,
in.
Rose? Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Hey, your man's just said, wait, man, Khiry made me lose a bet in 2017.
That's my boy Trevor. That's my boy Trevor, man.
Okay, we might have to pull you
All right.
back to tell us how you lost that bet.
We told them cowgirls up, man. You know how it go. You know how it go.
Okay.
Anyways,
Look, you're like moving right along, moving right.
so what's your favorite movie about sports?
Man, gotta be Remember the Titans.
There you go.
Gotta be Remember the Titans, and then next Friday Night Lights. Gotta be
Friday
those
Night
two.
Lights, man. That got a lot of people in trouble, man.
Yeah, it did. It did. Hey, the truth, the game is to be sold, not to be told. So somebody got to tell
Yes,
you how
sir.
Exactly. Look. And your man said he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
Most definitely.
So who do you wish was watching you perform at every game that was not
Uh,
able to be there?
My mama, I wish she was there at every game. My whole family, like my siblings, my whole family that I grew up with.
Wow.
My mama, she was only able to come to a few games, you know what I'm saying? Because she worked still, and then they was away and all that extra stuff. And I just didn't understand the lead at the time. I was so focused. So sometimes she would, I'd rather watch it at the house, stuff like that. But I wanted to see, I wanted them there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
What's your favorite sports quote?
All work is easy work.
Eee!
All work is easy work.
He's like
Hey,
stepping
everybody in college know that's my hey, all work is easy work. You hear me? Back strong, win long.
Hey, shout out to your sis Marie hanging out with us. We got Rob Mercer. Shout out to you for hanging out.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Okay. What's one word that describes you?
One word that describes me. That's a good question.
Uh-oh. He's thinking.
I ain't never thought about that. One word that describes me. Man,
I got one.
that's a good question.
I got one too. Resilient.
I was about to say that, resisted.
That's a good
at first.
question. I was just gonna say my name. Hell.
Plug that in there. Wait,
It's your ain't no wrong
One
answer.
word
It's your
is
question.
Khiry. That's the only way to describe me. Because when somebody hear that, they're like, "Oh, which one? Robinson?" No, that's a good question though, man. That's something I need to think about myself.
Already. So, what are the three things or the three reasons you like being a part of a team sport?
Oh, man. Now that I know, I think it taught me discipline, sir. Discipline. It taught me how to communicate with people from different backgrounds, different ethnicity,
Most certainly.
different, you know what I'm saying? All that. Different morals. And most definitely, it's a way of life.
See, what a lot of people don't understand, you said something key on the second one, as far as the different backgrounds. Especially with any locker room, but a football locker room, that's the most diverse room you can be in.
Yes,
you got
sir.
different economic people in there. You got different ethnicities. But at the end of the day, you got one goal. That's to win.
That's to win. And that's the win. And think if the world, hey man, look, on another note, and if the world do that, we can all win. But like
bingo.
On the football mentality, that's why, man, because of things like that. And I feel like it's like the military, it's gonna help me with my foundation. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna help me, teach my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I went through those things to teach her. Look, you ain't gotta, it's certain stuff I went through, so she didn't have to go through. You know what I mean? So, and same with my nephews and friends. That's why I say I'm a giver. Like, I feel like my whole journey, I went through what the average person and everybody could go through. Not just me, a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So I can tell the next person, a person that almost dropped out of college, even though they ain't, been in jail, nothing like that. But I can tell you, hey, you don't got to do that. It's another route for that. Or I can tell a person that ain't never been to college that want to go, hey, you can still go. All you got to do is get this. I got my GED. Because after my situation in college, I got kicked out of high school. And the only way for me to make it to Minnesota was to pass that GED test because I couldn't pass. I passed everything on the tax test but the math.
Say that.
I passed everything but the math. I was struggling with the math, and math used to be my favorite subject. So I was like, man, my boy was like, you either keep taking this tax test to get your GED and get up out of here. I was like, damn. And we made a joke. He like, you can't pass GED now. You just don't belong nobody's school. So I'm like, man, you right. I passed the GED test, and I ended up becoming a tutor for all the people in there before I leave for college. So I ended up helping the other people pass the GED, and I leave on to college. So it's just like my situation. Like I feel like I went through that to help, the whole journey and help people with that. You know what I mean? So
agreed.
My last question for you, bro. So, who was your favorite coach and why?
In the NFL or overall? Overall. Who was my favorite coach?
Uh-oh.
Man, you gonna have a lot of people mad at me, man.
I thought about that when I wrote it too.
You gonna have a lot of people mad at me, man. Hey, man, I got a lot of favorite coaches, and I was a hard head, man. And some of them that you know, dang, you can't do that to me. You can't do that to me.
Right, like
Well, you know what?
he's struggling.
We can answer that off camera.
I'm gonna tell you, because they're gonna want to know. Because a lot of my coaches was alike. It was like they all seen the same thing in me.
Wow.
I'll give you each one from each level.
Okay,
to be fair,
definitely.
Pee Wee, I had to say, Coach Frank and Coach Oliveras. Those the two that found me. Like I was in the apartment just running around, like, hey, seen me and my boy Eric run. You want to play football? And boom, there it is.
Man.
So that was my favorite. Junior high, Coach Lewis, man. I gotta give Coach Lewis a shout out. That's for sure. Coach Lewis and Coach Carter. But Coach Lewis for sure. High school, I'm gonna say Coach Herring. Coach Herring and Coach Morgan. Those are my two favorite coaches. College, I got it.
Uh-oh.
I got it.
It's a hard answer.
I'm gonna say Coach Carter. I'm gonna say Coach Souter because he was my running back coach. But then again, Coach Burns. See, you messing me up. Coach Carter, he found me when I tore my ACL, so I got a lot of respect for him. But he tried me with that $500 scholarship. But it's cool. Excuse me, it's cool. Coach Souter made it cool for me to stay because I almost went to Tarleton State on their ass. But I said, you know what? I ain't gonna go for the money. I'm gonna stay for this trophy, and so then I'm gonna be the starter. So Coach Souter, he was young. Okay, shout out to Coach Burns, he came from A&M. I'm gonna give him a shout out. He was one of them, man. He was one of them, but I'm gonna give him a shout out because he taught me about steps. And I went from a 600-yard back to a 2,000-yard back in one season. And I missed 3 games, and I didn't rush for 100 in 2 games, and I still had 2,000 yards. So you do that calculation. So after that, I got to be on because I broke the record, and I ain't even know. He came up to me after, hey, congratulations.
Nice.
You got the record. I'm like, what? Okay, boom. But he taught me off steps because I used to just take off and get the ball and hit the hole. And he always taught me about being patient, slow to, fast through. And take one step is really important about that footwork. So if you watching, you're an athlete, that footwork is really important. And that made me go from 600 yards as a junior to I went for 2,000 yards the next year, and I had over 20-something touchdowns. So that helped me out that year. So I shout out to him. And to enter in the pros, man, I'm going to have to say Coach Payton and Coach Rochard out of the coaches.
Say that name again, the pros?
Coach Payton and Coach Rochard. Rochard is the coach, the running back coach, which he probably the lineman coach now, and then Coach Payton for sure.
I just want to rub that in this guy's face. Wait, is it this guy?
Whatever.
That way.
Yeah, man. I gotta give Coach Payton and them a shout out, man, because they believed in me, man. And I was a knucklehead there for a point in time, but they understood me, and so I respect them, and they gave me a lot of pointers, which I use as a man these days, and I tell other people too. So shout out to all the people that helped me. And them ain't the only people. It's a lot of people in my life that helped me, not just my coaches. You know what I'm saying? Right. So appreciate all y'all.
And the reason why I want to ask that question, obviously I never made it to your level. I made it to college. But the one thing that you always need to understand as far as any athlete, there's always coaches that were placed in their life that actually help them become the person that they are. A lot of people say football players, they don't deserve that money or they got the easy life. No, they don't see the behind the scenes work.
It wasn't easy getting there.
It's not. So
it's easy now. It's not easy now, but like you got less stress. I go to therapy for my leg. I go to therapy for my head. I go to therapy for all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's still an every go thing, but it's less stress, you know what I mean? Because I'm low key now. I'm on the radar. You don't got to worry about everybody judging for all this crazy. That's what comes with the most stress. Everybody saying stuff like that, telling us what we don't deserve. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it's a lot. We deserve more than what we getting, to be honest. But we thankful. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of players ask for what they ask for because it's a lot that comes with it. But
they don't understand it, bro.
it's a lot to come with it, but that'll be another 2 hours on this. You know.
Well, man, before we wrap things up, we got any shout outs? So, you got any shout outs?
Oh man, I got a bunch of shout outs.
Let's go.
If y'all watching, I recommend y'all go to my Facebook for one. You know, if y'all can't add me, but I got a lot of people because I posted. If you go a business owner, I want to shout you out. So it's a lot of people on my page. We got in Temple, Texas, with a lawnmower company. We got Affordable Lawn. We got Delva's Restaurant in Amarillo, Texas. We got Ken William with Ken William Productions. We got Christopher Taylor with Music Management in New Jersey. Check my Facebook out. This all on my page. We got Bola. He has a brand for Tell Him Google It. Oh, he said booking and management agency. We got Fat Boy Gaming. We got Rodney Art. We got Louisiana Seasoning in Louisiana. We got Joe with Firearms LLC. Oh my Lord, we got a bunch. We got Marshall in Houston, Texas. Do you ever get a playing card? We got Cuts by Frank in San Antonio. We got a creditor. Anybody want to get their credit done? We got somebody. We got Farrah in Temple, Texas. We got Adrian. We got flag football for the kids, man. Anybody want flag football with the NFL? We got him. Let's see. What else we got? Marcus with credit. We got Brandon. Oh, shout out to Amarillo, Texas. We got Christian Jackson with the lab, Smile Lab, to get your teeth done. Shout out to RT, Ramon Taylor of the University of Texas. We got RTY Longhorns. Shout out to my boy Nate, Primetime Taekwondo. We got Out the Shack with Audio Studio in Temple, Texas. We got my boy Ren coming out of Wisconsin. Let's see. First Class Moving. We got my boy Debo with the personal training. We got New Orleans Lids and Apparel. We got Chameleon coming out of South Texas with the CBD company. Also got Residential Pressure Washing, a veteran. Who is that? Blore Residential Pressure Washing. Damn, my reading all right now. Excuse me, y'all. Also, we got some turnkey cleaning service with Miss Rosa. We got Collections Lipstick. Y'all check this out, man. We got a bunch on here. All these people on here. Houston, Texas. I got a list going on forever, man. I'm sorry if I missed y'all. I am the owner of the Foundation of Apparel. We got this guy, Jeremiah Eaton, Cancer Foundation for Teenager and Young Adult Patients. Tune in and check us out. You can check them out at thefoundationapparel.com. We got Damien as a barber. We got Laura. Oh, we got Devin Bro with his Lids of Pearl. Shout out to Devin Bro of the New Orleans Saints, the cornerback. We got him. Who else we got? We got Jason with the tattoos. We got Chuck. We got more CBD. Man, y'all check me out on the page, man. That's the last two. We got Danny. We got Danny with the clothing. We got Kobe with the fashion and attitude. And we got the Lounge on the Avenue Premier Cigars. Shout out to them.
Love it. Shout out
to all y'all, bro. All y'all cash out me $2. Hey, I love y'all, man. I appreciate
processing and handling. You know, hey, we gotta get Sports Talk with Friends. That's a processing and handling fee.
That's processing and handling fee. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, we appreciate you, man. Enjoyed it.
I'm sorry we went over the time, but it's all good. Everything is good, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the welcome. Hey, shout out to the Who Dat Nation and everybody that tuned in.
Yes, sir. Until next time, man. We got Khiry Robinson hanging out with us. Appreciate you, man. So, man, what's up?
Hey, that was good, bro. That was good.
Yes, sir. So I guess it's our time to go. I don't want to go. We gotta go. It's our time to go.
I think.
Well, it's your dude, Uncle Leroy. Don't say the Leroy without the Junior. And we out.